irritating.
All right, you guys, we're out here on the Sportster S. Now we have it in S mode. I am excited for this one. That is a lot beefier of a sound than the Nightster. This thing feels like you're in a more sporty position than the Nightster. Shifter's even a sportier. It's got that same no feel from first to second. There's just nothing there. Pan America was fine. Yeah, I can already tell this thing's nuts. Nice riding position though, honestly. I think it's honestly closer together than the Nightster was. Oh! Dude, this thing launches. And it's got big fat tires on it, even in the front. So I don't know if I'm loving that fact, because it might be weird to turn it. One thing I like about, like, I was just miserably hot on that Pan America. Like, even at these speeds on this bike, it's a lot cooler. And this one does have cruise control. I don't think I saw that on the Nightster. There's the guy that rented me the bikes on the Street Glide Special. Rented me the Ducati. It's a nice looking bike, and that's a Stage 2 Screaming Eagle. Exhaust on it sounds great. Definitely a stiffer ride on this bike. That was a pretty stiff bump right there. So that is one thing you'll have on this over the Nightster, is a stiffer ride. But that Nightster rode really good. This Sportster S is fun. I just don't know if I could see myself paying $15 for it. It definitely feels like a heftier motor though. You're shaking. Yeah. These things are nice and smooth. I like this. This is fun. I'm all right with it. It's like my bike has mid controls though, so. Yeah, the engine's definitely a bit heftier on, like, you can feel it more than the Nightster. Did you ride the Nightster?
Not yet.
It's worth it. It's a nice ride. Or that one. I'm still wanting to try that. Yeah, it's minimalistic. There's not a lot of tech on it. Oh my gosh, it's so fast, like I'm afraid to just go wide open. Plus my foot's kind of stuck under the shifter. I don't like that either. That's fast. That is fast. This is a fun bike. I don't like the price on it. So I wish the price was a little bit better. It's $2 grand more than that Nightster, and that Nightster's still a pretty fun ride. This one, I like the engine better, but I mean it makes more power, but it feels better on the like that Nightster has a very light engine like feel. If that makes any sense. Like when you rev this thing, you can feel it. It shakes a little bit, but it's not like a typical Harley shake. It's just, you can tell the engine's more like heftier, like, I mean, because the pistons are bigger, so when you rev it up, it's just, you can tell it's got more power down low. Like, well, I guess we're almost at 4,000 right now, but let's shift up. Yeah, that's way better down low than that Nightster. But that Nightster, that engine's still really good, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still tempted to go for that Nightster, but I really like this Sportster S too. It's just stupid fast. That thing sounds good. And that's the thing on this new engine. The Pan America probably had the best exhaust. It sounds pathetic exhaust wise. All you can really hear is the engine. It's just too quiet. These bikes need an exhaust put on them. Because that sounds good, and I know this isn't going to sound like that, but stock is just bad. Otherwise, the gauges on this bike are just so much better than what's on the Nightster. This is definitely a stiffer ride. But I like this. This isn't something I see commonly, this much, like a color display and everything packed into a cruiser like this. That's nice. I mean, you even have a home screen, so that's pretty cool. And I think you can even do CarPlay. I mean, obviously there's no speakers, but still pretty cool. So you can put your navigation and stuff on there. And these are adjustable levers. That's a super cool feature too, especially since the Nightster has it. This gauge is awesome. And I thought I would hate the Nightster without it, but I don't. I do wish they had a cheaper version of this bike with the 1250. Because, see, those cables are routed the same as they were on that other bike. I don't like that. How they're just hanging out there. But yeah, I mean, this is a sweet bike. Sportster S is awesome. Nightster's awesome. I'm thoroughly impressed with both of them. The Pan America is very nice too. I will say it is miserable in traffic. That is not at all fun in traffic. And that was probably part of why I was I mean, they were going slow. We're still going slow now. It's not as bad, I don't think. But I don't know, we're still going about 35 in a 45. That's the thing that's killing me. Won't even go the speed limit. You definitely, I think you might be leaned forward more on this bike. Starting to feel it in my neck. Oh. But I'm not kidding you guys, when you drop this thing down into second, it just feels like a rocket ship. You just catapult forwards. I don't like my my toe like gets stuck in between that shifter. Like, I don't like that. I don't know if that's adjustable, but flipping my helmet up, I'm getting hot. This thing's fun to toss around. It is a fat tire, but it's still fun. See if we can get some acceleration in here. That's fast. You want to make sure you're lean forward when you do that too. That switch is annoying. End up flicking the high beams on all the time. Because it's right where you go to hit the clutch. Like, what? Gotta say, I hate to say it, I think this is my favorite bike of the day. Pan America's a good bike. Sportster S is a great bike. Nightster's, it's like in between. It's good and great. In between good and great. Goo-rate. How are you liking it? Gonna trade in that Heritage Softail?
Yeah, no. I mean, I like the Heritage that I've got. I mean, to me, that's great for riding around here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go longer distance now. I'm thinking like something like the Pan America might be a better choice.
Yeah. You like the Pan America better than that? Yep, that's quick. Oh, this is such a relaxed. I love that there's still power. I mean, obviously, that's the one bad thing on the Rebel is once you get higher, like up to 60, yeah, it's all right. I don't like this switch. There's like no feel to it, but it works. Cruise control is a nice feature. That right there is almost a feature that would put me over the edge into the Sportster. And I hate when they exclude options like that you know hardly cost anything for them to. This thing is a stiff ride, but you know it hardly costs them anything to implement a feature like that over like you know it just isn't an expensive feature for them to add, and they won't put it in a lower model. Like, the bikes aren't the same. Like, it's not like you're just going up a trim. It's an entirely different bike. That bike's still $13,000. It should have cruise control. So I don't know. That's a tough choice between the Nightster and the Sportster, because I do like me some cruise, and this has heated grips. That's another thing the Nightster should have. I don't remember seeing this stuff. It could have it, but I don't remember seeing it on the Nightster. That's something that a $13,000 motorcycle should have, and that's what I hate about Harley's pricing. I do like these new controls. So you've seen these are pretty much standard on these new, any of the Rev Max bikes have these controls. I like it. This transmission is better than the one on the 975. So I do like that better, which probably has to be because it's a lot more power. But you know, I haven't done the clap or honked the horn a single time, so I'm gonna have a fun time lining up the sound later on, but hopefully we'll figure it out. I do wish this was the white Sportster S. I like that a lot better. And you know, the seats on these, I think the nicer seat might have been better. Maybe it's just my butt getting worn out at this point. The seat's not bad. I'd say this isn't any more comfortable than the one on my Rebel though. I feel like the nicer seat was pretty comfy. And I think the Nightster is more set up for comfort and more of a relaxed ride than, I mean, obviously, than the Sportster S. This thing just gains speed so fast. And we're actually moving at a decent pace right now. We're at least going 45, 50. So that's part of also why I'm much happier on this ride. Getting some good airflow. Nice. I did like the Pan America is a nice bike. I don't know if I can see myself on one. I like it because it's an ADV bike. It was so hot. Like even at 30 right now, I feel good on this bike. It was so hot on that bike. And I think I would much rather have a lighter bike like the Tenere 700. I think that's in somewhere in the forest. They said that was only 550 though. I was surprised. It felt heavier than that. But it's still pretty manageable. This thing's great. All the plates say 41. I think in the cold weather, I wouldn't mind being on Pan America because it has the heated grips. I wish Harley would catch up with Indian and do the heated seats too. I mean, I don't need it on a day like today, but heated seat would be nice if you're riding in cold weather. It made a world of difference that day when I was on the Indians. Freezing on the FTR, perfectly fine on the Challenger or whatever bike I rode. I can't remember at this point. Whichever one had, I think it was the Roadmaster. I had the working heated seat. That thing's fun. I'd probably buy one of those. Yeah. The Nightster's really fun too though. But that one has even more features. It's got cruise control, heated grips.
Oh, that has heated grips?
Yeah.
I imagine.
Alright, have a good time.
turned on the cruise for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too on that. Oh, that one has heated seat too.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, when I did.
It took me like the first 5 minutes of the ride just to figure out how to use the radio, and then I realized, oh, it's this little stick right there.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there jamming all the time.
When I did the Indian demo day earlier this year.
Oh, I bet the Indians are sick.
Dude, it was freezing. It was 40 degrees that day, but they had bikes with heated grips and heated seats.
Yeah.
I cranked them all the way up, and it was fine,
Oh, yeah.
even though it was 40.
This thing is like a fucking Cadillac, man. I mean, I should sell my house and live in this thing.
The Indians even have cooled seats on them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fucking nice.
Yeah.
I can't believe how comfortable this was, man. I just sat down and immediately I was like, holy shit, it's more comfortable in my car, you know?
Yeah.
Literally, it's crazy.
Yeah, that thing's definitely not the most comfortable bike I've ever been on.
Yeah.
I mean, I was perfectly fine. It's as comfortable as my Rebel, but it's obviously not going to be anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine it's not. Is it super forward or no?
It's like in between. It's not bad. I don't like bikes that you're like over.
I don't like the bikes where you're like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't like have you ever been on like a CBR 600?
Yeah.
I don't like leaning over the tank. That thing you're
I
still
don't like being super far forward.
Yeah.
Mine's like here.
Yeah.
Like if you scoot your butt back, you can lean forward a little, or you can sit forward more.
Yeah.
And you're still comfortable.
It's probably like my FZ1 was.
Yeah.
It's similar anyways. But that thing, even though it's got wide tires, it still handles pretty good.
I couldn't believe it. That thing was cool as hell, but it's heavy as
Yeah. Yeah.
the slow speed stuff. I'm like, that one stop sign where we're all creeping forward the whole time. I was like,
Did you like that lowrider better?
yeah, that low rider was nice, but the seat, just having the backrest on that's just huge. That's
Yeah.
a game changer.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
It'd be nice if they'd add that cooled seat package like the Indian has though.
Yeah.
Have you been on the Challenger?
I haven't. My buddy has a, shit, I don't know what Indian it is, but it's like I don't know how big the engine is either. It's sporty, but it's got, you know, the twin motor in it.
Yeah.
And it hauls ass and it's so loud.
Yeah.
But I forget how big the motor is, but that thing is crazy.
I'll say, what was your name?
It was like 1400 his is, but, Zach.
Zach?
Yeah.
Brendan.
Yeah.
Which I already told you that, but
All right, man. I think I'm gonna get out of here.
yeah, it's pretty hot.